محتملة للاعتقال.
There's no audio for it, so I'm just going to mute the narrator. See, they shoot this dude. They're shooting at this guy, right? He's grabbing what appears to be aid, like a box of food. You can see the bullets hitting around him. He's running, he's wounded. He grabs that box, and he's so determined. This guy's so determined to survive. It's so sad to watch this, guys. It really is. It's heartbreaking. He drops. This guy is dead. He gets back up. He's trying to get back up. They're shooting around him. He's dead. He's dead. The dog is walking around him, sniffing him. It's a nightmare, guys. This is a dystopian. It's dystopian. It's just awful. It's so awful, guys. You know, the problem with war is that war is always used as an excuse to do horrific things. And I'm guessing I know you're Serbian. I mean, during the war in the 90s, the Croatians committed atrocities on Serbian civilians. And I'm sure the Croatians would say, oh, this is war. And during World War II, there were all sorts of horrific massacres that were done by the Ukrainians and by the SS in Eastern Europe. And I'm sure they said, oh, this is war. This is what you do. And war is always used as an excuse to do the evil that you've always wanted to do. War is a way for unleashing the psychopaths that live within certain people. And I refuse to believe that war is a way... I refuse to believe that war somehow justifies the psychopathy that a lot of people have.
The station that's occurred in the Gaza Strip, according to the UN, will take 80 years to rebuild without conditions. So at this point, Israel needs to be stopped before they continue this horrific onslaught, Piers. And
you know what's crazy is that eventually Israel is going to be stopped. Eventually Israel will be stopped because this is going to continue on. The ethnic violence between Palestinians and Israelis, or Palestinians and Jews, is going to continue on. And eventually Israel is going to be stopped. Eventually, I think a confederacy or a pact of nations is going to enter Israel, and they're going to put an end to Israel. And there was a joke, a very cynical joke that I saw on the internet a number of months ago, and it was Israel will soon be was-real. So Israel will soon be was-real. As if to say Israel was real at one point in time. It's a very cynical joke, but I think there's a nugget of truth in it in the sense that Israel as we know it, eventually will not exist. Every dog has its day, right? Every dog has its day. And I think Israel eventually will be taken down. Israel as we know it, that is, will not exist. And there are people in the Western world who are saying that Western countries need to intervene and they need to be involved in Israel and they need to enter Israel and arrest Netanyahu as a war criminal and all this stuff. And I think eventually that sort of language will be used, that sort of argumentation will be used to justify military intervention in Israel. You know how there was military intervention in Iraq to get rid of Saddam Hussein? I think eventually there's going to be a military intervention done by a coalition of nations against Israel. I think eventually it's going to happen. Is there a difference between killing in a war and murdering? Well, there's definitely a difference between shooting another soldier who's shooting at you and going into a village and murdering civilians.
Your whatever morality, this is war. In war, people die.
Yeah, here we go. Let's use the old argument. Let's see. Let's go to a past war for an example of this. Let's go to 1940s Poland, Ukrainian Ukrainian nationalists who were backed by Germany butchered Polish civilians, killed tens of thousands of Polish civilians in the name of defeat. This is war! Yeah, but you went into a village and you butchered the men and you raped the women and you took a poor woman and you plucked her eyeballs out and then you raped her again. This is war! This is war! I mean, how far does this go? Is there a limit to this argument or what? Or can you use war to justify anything? As long as it's in the war! Yeah, but you murdered the man's mother and then you forced his wife to watch as they killed her grandma, and then you forced her husband to watch as they raped her. This is war, man. War. I mean, there's got to be a limit to this.